The rain came down in sheets, blurring the headlights on the long, lonely stretch of road that cut through the town of Maple Ridge. Ethan Grady's hands gripped the steering wheel tighter as his old Ford pickup rattled over a pothole. His daughter Emily, 9 years old and fast asleep in the passenger seat, let out a little sigh, clutching her stuffed rabbit to her chest. Ethan had been working double shifts all week just to keep up with bills. But tonight was his night. His night to pick Emily up from her grandma's, bring her home, and feel, just for a little while, that he was doing right by her. That's when he saw her. A girl, no more than 19, struggling on the roadside. 2 men in dark hoodies had her by the arms, shoving her toward a black sedan idling by the curb. Even through the downpour, Ethan could see the panic on her face, the way she kicked and twisted, the sound of her muffled screams barely reaching him over the storm. His heart stopped. For a second, just a second, he considered driving past. He didn't know her. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. And Emily. Emily was in the truck. But then he looked at her again. And all he could see was Emily. 5, 10 years from now. Alone. Terrified. No. Not tonight. Not on his watch. Ethan slammed the truck into park, right there in the middle of the road, blocking the car. His tires squealed as he cut the engine and threw open the door. "Hey," his voice roared over the storm. "Get your damn hands off her." The men froze for a second. Then one of them barked back, "Mind your own business, old man." But Ethan didn't stop. He stormed toward them, his boots splashing in puddles, his chest heaving. "I said. Let her go." Something in his eyes, or maybe the sight of a broad-shouldered man charging at them with fire in his voice, made them hesitate. One muttered a curse, then shoved the girl down and bolted for the car. The sedan screeched away, fishtailing on the wet pavement. The girl lay in the mud, gasping and sobbing. Ethan knelt by her, his hand gentle now. "Hey, you're okay now. You're okay." Her big, frightened eyes met his, and for the first time, she breathed. Thank you," she stammered. I didn't know if anyone would stop." Ethan swallowed hard, feeling a lump rise in his throat. He helped her to her feet and walked her to the truck. Emily had woken up by now, rubbing her eyes in confusion. "Daddy? Who's she?" Ethan managed a shaky smile. "She's someone who needed help, sweet pea." The girl, who introduced herself as Lily, told her story in pieces. How she'd run away from home. How she'd been promised a job, only to realize too late she'd been tricked by men who meant her harm. "I thought," she whispered. "I thought no one would care enough to stop." Ethan glanced at Emily in the rearview mirror. "There's always someone who cares," he said softly. He drove Lily to the police station, staying with her while she spoke with the officers, making sure she was safe before he and Emily finally headed home. That night, as Ethan tucked Emily into bed, she looked up at him with her big brown eyes. "Daddy?" she asked. "Why'd you help her? You didn't even know her." Ethan sat on the edge of the bed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Because, sweetheart," he said, voice thick, "one day, someone might need to help you. And I'd want them to." Emily wrapped her little arms around his neck and whispered, "You're my hero." And in that quiet moment, with the storm finally passing outside, Ethan realized something. Even in his own struggles, even with all his doubts about whether he was doing enough, he'd shown his daughter the most important lesson of all. That the world is better when we choose kindness. When we choose to stop. And that even a single act of courage can change everything. Sometimes, it only takes one person to stand up, to remind us all of our humanity.